Hey there, GI Nation. I'm your host, Jasenia Vice, and you're watching This or That, our digital show that compares the most divisive bodybuilding topics and lets you decide the ultimate winner. Last week, we pitted out Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Colin von Moger. You voted, and the winner is Arnold. This week, we're asking, which is the ultimate bodybuilding competition, Mr. Olympia or Mr. Universe? Let's compare, and then you can decide for yourself. Here we go. Let's take a brief look at the history of the two contests. Mr. Universe is a bodybuilding competition hosted annually in the UK. The first Mr. Universe took place in 1948 and was originally intended to be a one-night-only bodybuilding extravaganza. It was a runaway success, and in 1950, NABBA acquired the rights to the Mr. Universe and turned it into a spectacular annual show that it is today. Mr. Olympia is a bit newer, but is arguably the more prestigious title to win. It was started in 1965 by Joe Weider, co-founder of the IFBB, and has since been hosted in many cities around the world, ultimately landing in Las Vegas. One huge distinction between the two is the hosting organizations. The Mr. Universe title is hosted by NABBA, while the Mr. Olympia title is hosted by the IFBB. Since the IFBB is widely considered the gold standard of professional bodybuilding leagues, some would say that winning Mr. Olympia is a much bigger accomplishment. This attitude is reflected in the payout. The winner of Mr. Olympia gets $400,000 in prize money, while the winner of Mr. Universe makes only a fraction of that. Current Mr. Olympia Phil Heath has made over $2 million in prize money alone throughout his IFBB career. But while the prize money is large, there is a catch. Since 1971, the IFBB created a policy that prevented IFBB competitors from competing in other leagues. This made it impossible for Mr. Olympia hopefuls to also take a shot at Mr. Universe. This created a rift preventing all of the best from competing in both competitions. Basically, we can't see certain incredible NABBA bodybuilders face off against the best IFBB competitors. If you look at the pedigree of Mr. Universe champions in its early years, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, Lou Ferrigno, among others, you can see an alternate future where the Mr. Universe continued to grow and perhaps could have become the ultimate bodybuilding competition in the world. But what about the actual physiques? How do today's competitors in each contest stack up when compared? It all depends on what you like to watch. If you love mass monsters like Phil Heath, you might prefer the showmanship of Mr. Olympia and other IFBB shows. If you prefer a more classic physique, you might be more attracted to NABBA and Mr. Universe. Maybe it's the prize money difference, or perhaps just the difference in culture and judging between the two leagues. But the physiques truly are different, and with the concept of classic physiques becoming more and more popular even in the IFBB, perhaps the Mr. Universe is set to have a comeback. So, what do you guys think? Do you prefer the Mr. Olympia title or Mr. Universe title? It's time to cast your vote. There are two GI comments on this video, one for Mr. Olympia and one for Mr. Universe. Make sure to like the comment that fits your vote and we'll announce the winner next week. Want to see more Generation Iron original videos? Make sure to subscribe to our official YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, I'm Jasenia Vice. Peace out. Hi. Most prestigious title. Mamma mia. Here we go again. Dancing queen. And perhaps. Ferrigno. Hello. It's Lionel Richie calling the phone. Don't call it a comeback.